Hello, this is the Exalted Empress Tarot. My name is Tiana and I am the Empress. Welcome to my court. And today's reading is about what surprise is coming in for you. What thing that you were not expecting is meant for you and is coming in next. If that resonates, stay here, pick a pile, and we'll get to your reading. If you have not done a pick a pile reading before, I'll go ahead and explain that for you. What you're going to do is you're going to pick a pile either based on the card that speaks to you or on one of the crystals that speaks to you. And I'll go ahead and show each one to the camera. Once you've picked which one speaks to you most, you can go into the description. There will be a timestamp for you, and then you can go ahead and watch whichever pile has your message. Okay, so pile number 1 is transformation. And we have the crystal quartz heart. We have solutions. With the smoky quartz crystal. We have inspiration. With another crystal quartz, clear crystal quartz, but this one is diamond shaped, as I'm sure you can tell. And we have ground for pile number 4. And this one I put with the garden quartz. Okay. Feel free to pause this video and take a moment to pick which pile speaks to you most. And if more than one pile speaks to you, you can always pick more than one. Okay, see you in the groups. Hello, group number 1. If you chose the transformation card or the crystal quartz, then this is the pile for you. And again, the question that we're answering today is, what surprises are coming in for you? What surprises, what things are meant for you that are coming in that you were not expecting? And in case you were wondering, the transformation card is kind of the theme for your overall reading. So whatever surprise is coming in, the overall theme is some sort of transformation in your life. So let's see what other information we have from Spirit. Okay, I feel called to take this up as well. So 10 of Cups in reverse. We have Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups. Ooh, a lot of Ace energy. A lot of like new ideas, new thoughts, new stuff, which makes sense with the surprise message. Death, 9 of Wands in reverse. Okay, King of Wands. 1, 2, 3. Just making sure everything lines up and is insight. Okay, let's see if we can get 3 more cards. And excuse me, I did not realize that. Sorry, my apologies. I didn't realize my stand was in view. So let me fix that so that you have have a good view of your cards. Okay, and let's see if we can get 4 more cards for you and what this surprise that's coming in for you. So initial thoughts is that it's not, that is a lot of cards. We're going to take this one for sure. And take this one for sure. And let's take this one. Ooh, should I do it? The Chariot, the High Priestess, and the 7 of Coins. Okay, you saw them? There's not enough room for them on screen, so we're gonna come back to them, okay? Because those are still your cards, and let's go through this real quick. So, I get the impression that the surprise that's coming in for you is not a physical thing or a person. It is a change of mindset or lifestyle. Let me kind of sit with this for a second to make sure I have a full idea of what is going on. Definitely feeling the transformation vibes in this reading. Yeah, I'm feeling that the surprise for you that's coming in is some sort of, it could be a project that you've been working on, or it could be a relationship. Doesn't have to be romantic. I'm not really feeling that here, but like whether it's a family member or a friend or someone else in your life, like the dynamic has changed. But I'm gonna speak to this more as like the project. But if the relationship with someone in your life message kind of feels like that resonates more, feel free to just apply it to what I say to that situation. But the reason I feel like you're transforming into some sort of project that you're going for is, first of all, we have the 10 of Cups in reverse. And so the 10 of Cups talks about emotions, and upright, the 10 of Cups is a completion of something in the most positive way. It's a positive ending. It's getting all of our emotional needs met. And in reverse, I'm seeing that you may have felt like something completed, but you didn't get the emotional result that you wanted. The outcome was not what you had foreseen. And I'm seeing that with the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Cups. Both of these are a spark of a new idea, but in different suits in the tarot. So with the Ace of Wands, we're talking more about like a passion, whether that is towards a person or a project. And then with Cups, we're talking about our emotions. So maybe a new connection to something. And again, it could be a project, it could be a person, but it's only the idea itself. It's not moving towards it. So when I see both of these together, I'm seeing that initially when this event of yours maybe project, maybe interaction with this person didn't end up in a fulfilling way, there was this initial thought, this initial emotions toward changing things, but then there was a death. Now, the death card does not mean an actual death. It means more of a final end to something than the 10 of Cups would upright. The death card is more of just like, it's done and over with. We're not receiving anything. We're not giving anything to this connection or storyline. It's just done. So maybe you initially you thought like, oh, maybe I can restart it in a certain way, or maybe I can do something slightly different and that will change how this goes. And then something happened that was just like, no, that's not going to happen. And then with the 9 of Wands, what's really interesting about this, I think this is where the surprise is coming in. This is where the moving forward action starts to get addressed. Because the 9 of Wands in reverse, upright, it would be feeling really worn down, beat up by circumstance, and just being like, I don't know if I really want to keep going in a certain direction, right? So something ended and you were just like, I don't know if I have any more ace energy, right, to figure this out. And what's so awesome about this is that right after that 9 of Wands, this 9 of Wands is actually in reverse, in a better position. So after the death, you have the 9 of Wands in reverse, meaning like, you know what, that ended. I'm not going to continue to beat myself up. I'm not going to feel super worn down. Instead, you moved into the King of Wands energy. The King of Wands energy is about passion. It is like unbridled passion, and to the point where it may sometimes feel a little bit reckless. Okay, but to get that after an ending, to me says we may have been brought down. We may have been brought down multiple times. We may have had some setbacks, but I think you will be surprised about this kind of almost rebirth energy, this transformation that'll happen in your mindset. I'm not entirely sure what the inspiration is. I'm feeling like I may be missing a card here about what exactly, and maybe it's just because this is a collective reading and it's going to be different things for different people. But I feel like there's going to come some inspiration where it's going to end at your passion. You're like, this ending, this whatever it was, is not going to hold me back, and I'm going to double, triple down on what my actual goals are. And that's how you're going to get this, you know, what is like a flying peacock of fire energy, which is super exciting. So that's kind of like the main driver of your surprise. So it's not necessarily a physical thing, it's not a person, but it's this mindset, that's this inspiration of kind of like, boom, we're going to get into this passion and we're going to start feeling rewarded for it. The 8 of Swords in reverse is we're letting go of mindsets that maybe made us feel trapped previously. Same with the 8 of Cups upright. So 8 of Swords upright would be feeling trapped when we're not truly trapped. 8 of Swords in reverse says that we're aware of this, right? We know that we're not trapped. We're getting rid of that I feel trapped energy, and we're going more towards the 8 of Cups energy. Whatever was left, remember, cups are emotions. So you have a lot of cups and you have a lot of fires, which is a lot of feelings, because the cups are just feelings in general, and fire, it's not always about passion, but passion is an underlying important theme with the fire suit. And so it's cup, fire, cup, it's major arcana card, fire, air, cups, or Major Arcana. So, yeah, not a lot of swords represented here, but yeah, I'm seeing that the Eight of Cups, like that I'm no longer trapped ideology is what's going to lead us to the Eight of Cups emotion. So feeling like I'm gonna leave whatever old ideas, old mindsets are not serving me, and I'm gonna walk away, right? This person is onward. We're going somewhere else. I'm going to say we're going to have a lot of passion and drive, surprising amount of passion and drive that's not going to stop the hurdles and obstacles though. Unfortunately, sorry. And the way may not be easy. I think that just the passion that you have for what you're doing is just going to start driving you through, and it's going to be a really great push. And again, it may be surprising to you. This may be something that you've tried before that didn't work out for whatever reasons, your mindset, maybe things that other people were telling you or had told you in the past. I say that again just because the Two of Cups in reverse, or sorry, Two of Coins in reverse and the Strength card in reverse. The Two of Coins is about balance and balancing a lot. In reverse, it's having some difficulty balancing a bunch of things that are happening at once. So this new project that we have a lot of passion for may require you to balance a whole bunch of new things or to just make time for it in your life, etc. So that's where I'm thinking that there may be some obstacles, there may be some hurdles, but the Strength in reverse is like you're gonna tap into that inner strength. So reversal cards aren't always the opposite. You're going to tap into your inner strength, and that's going to pull you towards your goal. So those three cards that we had before. So we have, how are we going to do this? Oh my goodness. Let me show you, do it here. Here you have the Chariot and High Priestess. I love this card. One of the few cards that have a lot of purple. We needed more purple decks in here. Purple. And Seven of Coins. So there you go. So the Chariot is about having control, okay, in a positive sense. So having control of your life, having control in the direction you're headed, you know. And so again, and especially on top of the King of Wands, right? Things may not have worked out the last time you tried to do this, or maybe you just in your head you'd have the mindset to be like, oh, I don't know how that's going to happen. But this new jolt, this like surprising new mindset, this inspiration that sets you forth into this like new era with this idea, you're going to have control of what's going on. Like, and I think you're going to feel it. Like, this person feels so confident in this. And again, with the King of Wands and everything with passion, like, I just feel like you're going to have a whole new personality. You're going to have a whole new mindset. You're going to have a whole new level of drive once you start doing this. Okay? And with the High Priestess, I guess this is like I'm just seeing so much confidence, so much new inner drive and confidence with this new project with the High Priestess. Because the High Priestess is talking about intuition, your knowing, being comfortable and confident that things are coming in as they should. I think people around you are even going to see it. I think they're going to look at you and like, oh, she or he is so much different than they were like last month when I saw them, or when I saw them a couple of weeks ago, what have you. So yeah, like, I mean, and be confident. That's awesome. I'm so excited for you. This is a lot of positive change. And again, I think you're going to feel it. And I think this is your surprise coming in. So it's really going to be different for you, but I think you're going to love this new energy in your life. I think you're going to love feeling different in the best way possible. And then we have the Seven of Coins here. And so this just adds again to the energy of like, this is a new project of some sort. This new mindset is leading towards a new project, because the coins is about, you know, business, fiscal, ownership, money, that sort of thing. So when I see the Seven of Cups here, what that tells me is you're in fire energy again. You guys are on fire. I know that's kind of cheesy to say, but like, you're just gonna be on fire. Like, everything you do that's towards this project, it's gonna be like boom, 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 success, 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 success. Again, there may be some obstacles, but you're just gonna like just plow over those. Like, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, this new vibe, this new energy, this new I love that for you. And the Seven of Coins, sorry, I keep going past it because I just keep seeing the different connections in places. What I'm seeing here is that, like, you know that there's going to be a lot of practice and work and kind of drudgery in moving toward what you want to do next, but that you are inspired with this new surprise energy to keep going. Like, you're excited to move on. You're excited to move forward. Like, this is great for you. I love this. Those are all the tarot cards that I will be pulling for you on this. But let me go ahead and pull one oracle card for you from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. I would love to know, like, yes, the surprise is the new energy, the new mindset, but I'd love to know what inspired this new energy. If we could get a card on that, Spirit. Let's see. Oh, well, okay. Spirits, like I said when I said it. Okay, we have this spot on my card. I guess it's supposed to be there. The Imagine card. And I don't know if you can see. Let me hold it up to the camera. Imagine. There's like a person here. It's very faint, holding the moon as a balloon. I love that it kind of came up next to the High Priestess card. So let me go ahead. I'm going to look at the meaning of this card in the guidebook. Turning imagination into manifestation. Creative thought, visualization, the power of aligning imagery and feelings, creativity, illusions. Who do you want to be? What do you need to believe in order to have the life you want? You were gifted with the power to imagine. Wow. If you can dream it, you can create it. This is the time when your imagination is the key to manifesting the life you desire. Spend time daydreaming, fashioning a vision board to help you see your goals, or meditating. Allow the power of your creativity to deliver images of what feeds your soul. Then allow your feelings to mingle with your inspirations and imagine these things being real right now. Then repeat. What you imagine will become your belief, and soon you will see these things come to pass in the outer world as if by magic. That's amazing. So there is some dream, something you've imagined that you wanted for yourself for a long time, and maybe you haven't done it, but it sounds here like you did. You at least attempted before, and maybe it didn't work out then, but just seeing little bits of progress this time is what's going to inspire you to keep on. And it's like making a fire, right? You need a spark, and then you need to build up the flames, right? It's going to be just a tiny tiny little fire at first, and then you need to add in some kindling, and then it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think that's what we're talking about here. Before, you didn't get that. You just had the spark, the idea, and it kind of fizzled out a couple times. But now, the surprise is it's going to start working. And when it starts working, again, you're going to be on fire. I'm so excited for you. Please comment below and tell me what your project is. I want to hear about it. If this resonated with you, please like and subscribe. I would love to have you as part of my court, and I will see you next time. Hello, group number 2, and if you chose solutions or the smoky quartz, you were in the right place. And the question that we have today is, what surprise is coming in for you? What is meant for you that's coming in that you don't know about yet? Well, we're gonna ask Spirit. We're gonna figure it out together. And with solutions, if you haven't been here before, if you haven't had a reading that has an oracle card at the beginning like this is kind of your overall theme for the reading. So surprises, solutions, and focus better with the camera. There we go. There we go. So my first thoughts has something to do with a issue, problem, something in your life that needs to be solved. But there will be more cards. So see, we have the 9 of coins. We have the 2 of wands. I'm gonna try to do like 10 cards, 10 tarot cards. Spirit, oh, there we go. We have the 2 of coins upright. Oh wow. Ah. Temperance. Ooh. All right, you know, I don't often get that card specifically. At least not in this deck. It's a very Sagittarian card, so shout out to all my fellow Sagittarians out there who may be watching this. The Sun in reverse. Okay. We're halfway there. What surprises? Ooh. Does group number 2 have in store 6 of Cups? Okay. Page of Swords. Sorry, I still call to take this one as well. This is Strength. 2 more cards. I'm feeling this card. The 9 of Swords in reverse. Knight of Cups. Interesting. Let's see. Let me just take a moment with your cards. Think this through. So yeah, so for you guys, what I am seeing is there's something that's been either one side or the other dichotomy that you're gonna have a surprise solution for, okay? There's been something going on that it wasn't clear how it would be resolved, and you're coming into a point where it's just gonna fall in your lap. The solution to the problem, you're gonna be like, why didn't I see this before? And it may come from somebody else, or it may just be one of those out of nowhere aha moments. But let me go ahead and tell you why I see that. So the first card that we have here is the Nine of Coins. And the Nine of Coins is, all the 9 cards are getting close to the completion of something. 10 would be the completion of something. So 9 of cards, we're not quite there, but is considered a type of wish fulfillment type card. It's considered a luxury card in some cases. I've been working for this a long time, and now I'm getting the rewards of my labor. You can see here there's like, they have the watermelon here that they're enjoying with this bird, and that there's like it's kind of difficult to tell, but there's a bunch of other ginormous watermelons in here. So the work's been put in, the time has moved forward, and now we're starting to enjoy the rewards of what we've done. So then we have the Two of Wands here with the Two of Coins. I'm going to go ahead and read those two together. So the Two of Wands is a choice that has to be made, and the Two of Coins is about balancing, having a lot to balance, and having kind of a difficult time, but you're still doing it. When it's upright, you're still managing to balance whatever this is, despite the fact that you may be having a bit of a hard time. And the Two of Wands, making that choice when we're balancing a bunch of different things, I think this goes back to, again, we have this issue, and we're starting to get more of what we want out of the situation, but we're not quite there yet. We're not quite at the part where things are resolved, things are solved. And the surprise coming in is the Temperance. So the Temperance card is about balancing things. It's like the alchemy card. Oh my goodness. Okay, I don't know the story behind this card. All of these cards in this deck are connected to some sort of like cultural myth, legend, origin story, that sort of thing, fairy tale in some cases. So I'm not sure the origin story of this particular card, but I see that in the hands they have a bow and arrow for Sagittarius, and or maybe the story as well separately, but I think that's really cool. But the Temperance card overall is about mixing things that don't usually go together. And then in the Temperance card, there's 1 foot in the water, there's 1 foot on land. In this case, I believe this is a giant floating flower. Very cool. So in this case, we had that difficulty, or that difficult situation of balancing things. We have to make a choice, and in the Temperance, we're seeing making those difficult things come together and making those things work in a situation where maybe it's not clear, or it hasn't been clear for a while how that would happen. So it's a surprise solution to this issue. The Sun in reverse. So the Sun is the happiest card in the deck. It cannot be negative. So the Sun in reverse just says it's kind of a slow burn coming up happiness. So you didn't see this coming. You didn't see this solution working. Maybe you start doing it and you're like, I hope this helps. But the surprise is that, or part of it is that it is gonna work. This solution is gonna work, and it's gonna work well. And as you trust it more and more, and as you see things going better and better, you know, the inner happiness is just gonna be like start moving up each time. With the Six of Cups, this is about nostalgia, looking back on the past, having positive memories, And then I'm going to read these two together as well. We have the Page of Swords, Truth coming in. I think the surprise solution is, it may come from your past person, an old friend maybe, a solution that you're even, or this idea, this problem, this situation that's been happening for a while. I think even wondering for some time, like, how is this going to resolve? How am I going to make this happen? How am I going to do it? And I think that an old friend, or maybe even just, you know, thinking back on a time with so-and-so, whoever this friend is, you're gonna get to a place where the solution's gonna come to you, whether it's literally your old pal coming back, or it's you know, thinking about an old friend or an old person that was in your life, and that brings you that solution. Either way, my thoughts are that's how you're gonna get the idea. That's how the surprise is coming in. With the Strength card, very interesting card. I think this is just here for, you know, the perseverance of having to go through something for maybe a little bit of time, or having to try to solve it over and over again and not seeing what you wanted, but that, you know, perseverance through the situation is what's going to bring you, it's going to build strength, it's going to show your strength at that time. So I don't have too much to say on this card in particular, but I do think this whole situation, up into the solution, and of course enacting the solution, is really just going to be a show of strength, especially when you look back on it, right? The Nine of Swords in reverse. I think the solution coming in that you weren't expecting is really going to turn all of the negative thoughts that you had surrounding everything that was going on its head. The Nine of Swords is about all the negativity coming in, whether they're dreams, whether just how you're thinking about a situation. And in reverse, all those negative thoughts about how hard it is, about how, I'm not gonna get through it, etc. Bye. All the thoughts are gonna be gone. And what's interesting is at the end of all this, we have the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is someone coming in. I mean, it doesn't have to literally be someone coming in, but this is about emotions. A lot of times, or sometimes people read this as a love interest coming in. Doesn't have to be. It could be you had a lot of things going on in your life that had to do with this issue, and now that that's resolved, you can focus on love. It could just be the person who gave you advice or gives you advice. It could just be feeling more supported now by your community now that you have this resolution. Regardless, I think that this surprise solution is going to give you a new mindset at the end of the day. You're going to feel different at the end of it. And that's the real victory here with the Knight of Cups. Whether someone actually comes in or not separately at the end of this situation. So let's see if Spirit has anything else to add when it comes to this surprise solution. Anything else the Spirit wants you to know. Okay. Go the distance. Ooh, we love that. It's a little self-explanatory, but we'll go ahead and read the actual description for this card. And it, oh wow. Like, you can't plan these things. Endurance, strength, the long haul. It says it. Can you read it? I just finished saying that, and it's on the strength card. That's crazy.
To bring your dream life, you must think long-term and pay no attention to the fluctuations in the current of your experience. Joy and disappointment commingle with opportunity, so there is no need to fear the occasional obstacle. Life is not a sprint. This card is a reminder that you have endurance, strength, and fortitude to carry you all the way. Remain true to yourself. Your authenticity alone will keep you in alignment with the energy of miracles. What is yours will never be withheld from you. Remember that. Okay. So, maybe that's the Knight of Cups energy as well, is that you will feel free to move forward in a way that you weren't before. Once the surprise solution comes in, you will feel like you have the ability to go on and rush forward in not just solving this problem, but doing things in a way that you're no longer encumbered, you're no longer weighed down by, the problem, the issue moving forward. Your life doesn't have to be on hold for it. So, I am so excited for you. Please, if you would like to share and give clarity to your situation so we can all celebrate with you, comment below. And I hope this resonated. Like and subscribe if you would like to join the court. And I will see you next time. Group number 3. If you picked the inspiration card or the diamond cut clear quartz, you are in the right place. I'm going to go ahead and pull cards for you. And remember, the question for today was, what surprise is coming in for you? What does Spirit have prepared you're not aware of yet? So we have inspiration as your oracle card. And if you have not done one of these readings before and you don't know, the inspiration card, the oracle card is kind of like a theme card for the rest of your reading. So the reading overall will have something to do with receiving inspiration. So our first 3 cards, we're going to pull about 10 of these tarot cards. They are the 10 of Wands in reverse, 4 of Swords, and the Magician in reverse. Okay. Your cards are falling off screen. So we have the 2 of Wands, we have the 8 of Wands in reverse, and then we have, this one does not want to come up. We have the 3 of Wands. Okay, sorry for that. Don't like when you can see the stand for filming. 1 second. Okay. And Page of Cups in reverse, 7 of Cups in reverse. Okay. So you can get 2 more cards. Oh, okay, that is more than 2. We have 4 cards. Out. Stay. No. We have the Queen of Swords. Ooh. Love that. We have the Hierophant in reverse. So these 2 cards also came out. So they are the Queen of Cups and the 9 of Swords. So I'm going to keep these off camera because we don't have space here, but I will come back to them at the end. And just give me a moment to sit with your cards and see the overall message that I get for you. Okay, So what I'm getting as a surprise for you guys is group number 3 is, yes, inspiration. We're taking something old, something that maybe something from the past. It can be a relationship. I don't want to lean too much into that and be like, an ex is coming back. Like that's not, I don't know if that would be considered inspiring to you or not. But what I'm seeing as your surprise is an inspiration to try something new in an old circumstance. I think there's some old lingering situation that you're like, should this be done? And you're going to have an unorthodox way of fixing things. So let me tell you why I think that. We're going to start off with the 10 of Wands in reverse. So 10 of Wands is something that maybe should end, that is burdening us, where we put those 10 wands down. Because the 10 of Wands is in reverse, I'm getting that there's still like a lingering of that situation, thought process, etc. And with the 4 of Swords coming after that, 4 of Swords is rest. So I'm getting that in this situation, that it's been weighing on you and you're thinking to yourself, ugh, I need to rest. I'm glad that's over. I'm moving on. I'm moving forward. And then we rest. We're resting. We're thinking that that's done and gone with. With the Magician, and I kind of read this together with the 4 of Swords in reverse, the 4 of Swords, the 4 Swords of rest, the Magician has all 4 elements that are seen in the tarot. So the tarot has Wands, Pentacles, Swords, and Cups. Upright, that would indicate you have everything you need in order to solve the problem. With it in reverse, I'm seeing that you don't see that as the case. And so this resting is just kind of like, things are how they've happened in this situation, and feeling as if one needs to therefore move forward. After that, we have the 2 of Wands. The 2 of Wands is planning. It is planning ahead. Okay? And specifically with like this type of 2 of Wands, you know, we have one of 2 ways we could go. At least that's how you're feeling in this situation. I'm feeling like this is kind of the beforehand, before the surprise arises in the top row. And we're going to see the surprise come in the second row. So the 2 of Wands, we need to make a decision. We need to start planning. And then we have the 8 of Wands in reverse. And the 8 of Wands upright would be something coming in very quickly, but with it in reverse, it's going to come in slowly. So this inspiration is going to be a surprise to you, because it's not something, it's almost going to sneak up on you. It's going to slowly come up into your mind over time. And I'm seeing a lot of like motion in this reading from the Eight of Wands and the Three of Wands. So slowly, we're gonna start planning something, or the season arrive. It may not even be conscious at first. You may not literally be like, oh, I need to figure a way out of this. You're kind of done with the Four of Swords and the Ten of Wands are reversed. You're trying to be done. And then these thoughts start coming in of, well, maybe this, if this had gone this way, if we had switched this other thing, things might be a little different, etc. Then we have the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is actually actively planning, and I love that it came out right next to our inspiration oracle deck. You are, once you start planning, things are just going to start falling into place. You're going to start moving up as you realize, oh, I can do this or that thing. I can do this to fix a situation. I can do that. You're going to start becoming surprised by how this idea could actually work, how things could actually come together. It's going to be a surprise to you because you had walked away from it. It's like, especially with the Rest card, in the traditional tarot, it's a knight laying down with the Four of Swords like to the side. I have a feeling too, this inspiration could come to you in a dream. It could really start off as a dream, or we could start getting some of those subconscious solutions, inspiration coming to you in a dream, and then one of the days you just realize, like, wait a second, I basically figured out this whole thing and I thought I was done with it, but I actually think I have a solution that I could have made this whole time. With the Page of Cups in reverse, and then the Seven of Cups in reverse. I think these two things support kind of other messages in there. I think that your feelings and your thought was that, I've already looked at it other ways of the choices, of figuring out the situation before. I already, felt like I had ideas before and they never worked. And and so that's kind of your mindset right now. That's kind of your thoughts towards any other solutions for what's going on, which is what's going to make the truth of the matter such a surprise. It's what's going to make this inspiration so surprising. The Queen of Swords, and I'm going to read these two together. The Queen of Swords is about truth, honesty, facts, while also balancing feelings and emotions and just kind of being empathetic and putting all of that together along with what needs to happen in a more factual, neutral sense. The Hierophant, you would think, is a card that would kind of go along with that. So the Hierophant is normally about tradition and following traditional values or systems. In reverse, though, we're being a little unconventional. And so I see with the Queen of Swords next to the Hierophant that the inspiration that you have, this surprise process of figuring things out, is going to come from being unconventional. There's going to be some sort of unconventional solution in order to get to where you need to go, or to do what you need to do, whatever the goal is. So there may have been a lot of push and pull beforehand when you were trying to solve things, following order, following tradition, following some sort of hierarchy or built up structure, and it just wouldn't work. And what you needed was to be a little bit more unconventional. You need to be a little bit more creative. That's what the surprise is. That's what the inspiration is. Now, we have those other two cards that came through. We have the Queen of Cups and we have the Nine of Swords, which is really interesting. I think that two things. I think there's a lot of compassion here for yourself in this surprise, and realizing that maybe you were being a little catastrophic in your thinking previously when you were trying to think of a solution or ways to go about doing things previously. Also, if pile number 2 called out to you, is fairly completely different cards, but there were definitely some similarities between that pile and this pile. So if you feel called to watch both, feel free. But I think there's a lot of self-compassion here, that you were feeling done and that you needed to rest and everything else, because we were thinking a little bit too negatively about the situation and kind of trying to prophesize what was going to go on and thinking that it was going to be really bad and and there was just no need. And it may feel like I skipped over a little bit, but the Nine of Swords is about negative thinking. The Queen of Cups is about emotions and our feelings, empathy, how we feel towards certain things. And I think that also this surprise solution, I think there's going to be a lot of relief. In this, I think maybe that, especially with this on the Four of Cups, I think the reason that this was lingering so much and why you needed to take rest from it and everything else was because you just truly thought there was no solution and you really wanted there to be. And maybe I don't know what the specific situation, it's going to be different for everybody, but I think that not being able to resolve it really hurt. Not being able to come up with something that would resolve everything. And, accepting that was kind of a bummer. But having the Queen of Cups here, I think it's just such a relief. Like, oh my goodness, like, shock, surprise, like, I can actually solve this and have all contenders in the situation be in a good place. So that's how I'm reading these cards for you right now. I'm also going to come in at this time and pull an oracle card for you. And we're going to see if Spirit has anything else to say about your surprise inspiration. Spirit, is there anything else we should know at this time? Anything else? Let's see. Sorry, a card stuck out and I didn't have time to grab it. Wow. Okay. Let's see. I meant to grab one card and there's 5. I'm not going to read all of them, but I will take these 2 that came out on top. So, fork in the road, I've gotten it a couple of times and it is a little bit more self-explanatory than higher power. Let me go ahead and at least do a little bit of the reading for you from the actual guidebook for those. So, fork in the road. Time to make a decision, considering the consequences as you prepare to act, owning up to your obligation to make a necessary choice. Every choice has a consequence. You've arrived at a fork in the road and are being asked to come to a decision. Will you further your dreams by choosing left or by choosing right? Will you take the road less traveled or the one well worn by others who have come before you? This is your choice and yours alone to make. Circumstances and other people will not make it for you. Be present and do not avoid this junction, for it is an important crossroads. Take heart, as no matter which path you choose, you will have a rich and meaningful experience. I love that, especially since it also touches on what we've been talking about this whole reading, with the Ten of Wands in reverse and the Four Swords. So Spirit is encouraging you to make a choice. Let me go ahead and read the Higher Power card or part of it for you, and then we can tie everything together. So, Higher Power, conscious contact with that higher power, the presence of the divine, seeing source energy in all things, committing to a partnership with Spirit. This card reminds you that you are more than a person trying to get ahead and make things happen for yourself and others. You have an immortal soul and are gifted with a human life through which a higher power can express itself. At this time, you need to be conscious of your connection to Spirit and foster it through prayer and meditation. Ask, what is the highest good for all? How can I serve? Then get out of your own way and trust that there is a plan for your life, more wonders than you can ever know. You are always protected and divinely directed. So what these cards are saying is kind of what we've been saying this whole time. If you have that surprise inspiration is coming because you are at a fork in a road, but trust that the higher power will come in and give you that idea. And that, again, it goes back to those first two cards, that the rest. And this card also, specifies like prayer and meditation. Obviously, all my different viewers are going to feel differently about that. Whether you're open to either of those things, but finding quiet, finding rest in some way, whatever way is comfortable for you, is what's going to bring that surprise inspiration in. So I am so excited for you. If you would like to share, please, in the comments below, share what inspiration came to you. And if this resonates, like and subscribe. And I would like to see you again in court. See you next time.
Hello, group number 4. If you picked the ground card or the garden quartz, you're in the right place. And our question today is, what surprise does the universe have in store for you? What new thing is coming in? And if you haven't done a reading like this before, the ground card is kind of the theme for your overall reading. So I don't really have, that is a lot of cards. Sorry, I don't like when it's a ginormous pile of cards that comes out, because I don't know, I feel like Spirit should be more specific. So let's see what cards come out for you. I am not sure how grounding as a theme will affect your reading. Some of the other cards were a little bit more direct, but I trust in Spirit. What does group number 4, let's see, Hermit. Of course you get like one of the most grounding cards in the deck as the first card. Of course you do. Okay, so staying out. 3 of Swords in reverse. Surprise, surprise, surprise. What is group number 4's surprise that is coming? Oh my god. Okay, these cards are all like barely holding in to the deck. Ace of Cups in reverse. 9 of Swords in reverse. This is so weird. Some of these cards came up in my last reading. The thing is, I didn't put them back together. So if you're watching more than one pile and you are coming back and you're seeing some of these, I didn't put those cards next to each other, and I've been shuffling. So I don't know, Spirit's favoring those cards right now for whatever reason. Let's see. So I'm going to pull about 10 cards. Wow.
Oh, that is so great. Okay, I think that's a total of 4 cards, right? Maybe, as long as none of them are on top of each other. Let's see. We have 6 of Cups, 9 of Wands. Yeah, I think the people, the collective watching right now, have a lot in common with each other, which makes sense because if you're attracted to my court, you're a certain type of person, so it makes sense that you'd have something in common with the other people here. But if you are called to more than one group, there are some repeating cards. Oh my god, I love this. I did not realize before that the people, I don't know if you can see it, it's so faint, but they have face tattoos. It's so cool, so sweet. Sorry, I've had this deck for a while and never noticed it because it's so there's so a lot going on in the cards and it's a small detail, but I absolutely love that attention to detail. Got distracted. But okay, let's go back to our message. What surprise is coming in? The theme is ground. We definitely started off with grounding. You know, there always has to be one pile that is possibly a love reading. I get kind of nervous trying to sometimes when saying it's a love reading because I don't know, I feel like the stakes get really high, but it is possible. There's definitely something going on with a second person in this reading, with another individual, and yeah, let's talk about grounding. So grounding in general, we're bringing ourselves closer to nature. We're steadying our emotions. And I'm feeling that there is something tumultuous. Oh my god, why did I try? There's some hectic energy, okay, between you and this second person. And Spirit is telling you to ground, to get a better view of what's going on, and to convey yourself in a way that it's clear. And I think the surprise, what I feel comfortable saying is that the surprise is that you will see yourself coming back with this person in the sense of they're gonna come back into your life. I'm not saying that the relationship's gonna be where it was before, that your true love is coming back, or that they're even your true love. Sorry, I just don't want to give anyone the wrong expectations. But I feel like whatever chaotic energy that's been happening, it's going to settle. And that it'll allow you to connect with this person again. So that is your overall summary. Please don't click off. I will explain the rest of the cards. So with the Hermit, which again, why I was like, oh my goodness, we get that with the grounding card and the garden quartz. Of course we do, because the Hermit is about taking time to yourself. It's about thinking, pondering, figuring out what's best for us. And, you know, people have feelings, opinions about whether or not that's a good or bad card. I think the card is pretty neutral. I think whether it's a negative or positive Hermit period depends on how you direct your energy in that time of solitude. So if you're taking that time to be very proactive within yourself and moving forward spiritually and mentally, then you're going to have a positive Hermit experience, now aren't you? because you're going to learn, you're going to move forward, you're going to have new insight. And the Three of Swords in reverse, it upright is a heartbreak. So in reverse, and it's usually seen as in romantic situations. It's usually the Three of Swords is indicated in that case. With it in reverse, I see the Hermit, the time of solitude, as either getting over a heartbreak. As it's really getting over a heartbreak. You're pulling yourself out of that mindset and those feelings in a healthy way. We're not avoiding them, we're not pushing them down, we're moving forward. With the Ace of Cups in reverse, I'm feeling that there may have been some emotions, maybe previous to the Hermit period, where you had thought about rekindling those emotions towards this person, and you kind of got rid of that. You kind of like, that's not doing anything for me, I don't want to bother. Or, that's not my calling, that's not meant for me. That person, that situation that we had it's not right. With the Nine of Swords in reverse, any other negative thoughts, that we may have had in the situation, possibly romantic. I know I'm being so hesitant, but like that is where this is mostly leaning. We're taking all the negative thoughts we may have had towards it, or projections we may have had of what that other person's doing, etc. And we're kind of realizing that those are our thoughts. We don't know if they're true or not, and if they are at this time, they're not really our business anymore. With the Queen of Swords in reverse, this can be read a couple different ways. This could either be that we're kind of pulling us through the situation and that's not how we truly feel and think. I don't think that's the case with you guys, but I just wanted to say that in case that resonates with some. With the Queen of Swords in reverse, what I'm seeing here is that we're realizing that some of the main things we maybe were focusing on that are negative weren't real, weren't things we needed to focus on, and are things that we could move on from because they didn't have the weight of truth behind them. So there was no need to get upset. The Judgment card, card 20. What I'm seeing is, judgment is everything falling into place and people receiving from spirit the kind of karma or outcome that they're supposed to receive in a situation. And that paired with the Ten of Wands in reverse, I'm going to go ahead and read it together, is that this situation isn't as over as we kind of thought it was. Those feelings aren't as gone as we kind of thought they were, or we're telling ourselves they were. And there is definitely, if nothing else, it's not a completely closed off situation. There is a possibility of someone returning. And having that paired then with the Six of Cups is nostalgia. The Six of Cups is thinking very positively about a person from our past or a situation from our past. So I'm seeing that with the situation, you're going to get rid of some of those negative thoughts, thinking, some of these things aren't even real, with the Nine of Swords in reverse and the Queen of Swords in reverse. And then we're going to move forward with the Six of Cups and realize, oh, there's a lot of positive here. There's a lot of good things. When I start to look things a little more objectively and not lean into some of those negative thoughts that I was thinking of, I realize, oh, this and that are positive. I don't have to think about them this sort of way, etc., etc. And then we have the Nine of Wands. So with the Nine of Wands, what I'm seeing here is we're very close to like the final round with this person or the situation. Again, we know where this reading is leading, but we're kind of towards the end of, we're feeling a little beat up by the whole situation. There's been a lot of history with whoever this individual is, which is fair. And I feel like that coupled with the Six of Cups and then having the Judgment before it, we're seeing that we're rising out of everything, but we're seeing things fairly. There's a lot of good between you and this individual. You're getting flowers here. It's very cute. But you've also been through a lot. Okay. Fiery skulls on the flowers is kind of, it's a lot. It's a lot. But it's not over. And so the surprise, again, for you guys, group number 4, is this person possibly coming back, or at the very least, being able to open a dialogue again with this individual. This is the World card. This is the World card, and the World card in this deck is depicted as this happy couple being very cute. And they're like dancing on. I don't know the story behind all of these. I need to get the guidebook for this deck. The full one with all the stories is separate. So sometimes I'm like, oh, I love this, it's so cute, and then I don't have the full context, but it's a very happy, sweet couple that look to be dancing on objects that are floating in water. So that is fun for them. So let's see. That's everything I have for the tarot cards today, but we'll do one more card. We'll do an oracle card for you guys. What else does Spirit have to say as far as your surprise that is coming in? Ooh, what was that? Thinker. So I'm going to go ahead and pull not pull. I'm going to look into the actual oracle deck for this. Strategy, being analytical, logical. The ability to reason and strategize is the focus now. Take things at face value and follow the logical path. Your calculations will prove to be correct, for in this moment there is no deeper meaning than what is obvious. Things are exactly as they seem. You have all the information you need. Keep it simple and you will win the game of life you're playing right now. I'm also going to read the relationship paragraph for this one, since, we're talking about relationships here. Love is not logical, but when you choose a partner, it is good to have things in common other than desire. This is a time to weigh the pros and cons of your partnership. If there is enough common ground, go for it. If not, there are other fish in the sea. Don't force it to work. And should others tell you who they are, take them at their word. Now is not the time to indulge in a fantasy, no matter what. In this case, the facts are the facts. Okay, so weighing everything back and forth. Do we have enough in common with this individual? And what is implied by this card is that the desire is there, but are we checking off the other boxes? So if this resonated, please comment, like, subscribe. I would love to have you join the court, and I will see you next time.